next set, and the winners of those matches will take on each other to see if they can get through to next week. As we get ourselves on the way for game number 1, and absolute banger.
Well then, well that is a start. So not exactly what we...
Can you come back? I'd like to change my pick.
Not exactly what we had in mind here, but you know, 72 PC will take it. That might even be more ridiculous than the kickoff goal we saw yesterday against NRG.
Oh, good demo, but yeah, maybe not the greatest start of all time for Spacestation Gaming. They'll look to try and sort this out nice and quickly. Arsenal would like to do it, and across the front of the middle of the goal as eventually Seabass can get himself in the way. Spacestation Gaming looking to try and just put that goal behind them. Get themselves sorted out in this series proper. And I, myself here, Johnny, will be pretty much parked on Jacob's camera throughout the majority of this series because it was his rotation that was the weirdest one to watch, and typical just has to get back in time. Scary start here for Space Station.
Yeah, it's the worst possible start. You know, Space Station have performed well in these kind of positions this season when their backs are up against the wall. They do know how to just dig in and get the results that they need, but it's not where they want to be, of course. Now, I like your comment about Jacob because you're absolutely right. He is not only, you know, maybe the most unique player in this lobby, but also one of the most interesting players to just watch play Rocket League. He's got very good style, nice touch there, actually knocking the ball wide onto the post. Awkward shot coming in for SSG, but you know, speaking of awkward, Retzel's on the wrong side of the ball there. Space Station's attack really going nowhere.
Yeah, Jacob's always been one of those players that he doesn't necessarily mind losing, but he does mind losing without trying something different against you. Try and test you, see whether or not you are actually capable of passing that test. Ty couldn't quite make contact, but just the threat of him was good enough to keep the pressure on. Here comes Seabass. Shot is saved, but so far the bearer of the pressure has been going over to 72 PC. I'm going to see how they can deal with this, and not apparently very well, as Arsenal can find the backboard self-set, and he will turn it in 1 each.
It was just an awkward touch there from Arsenal. I like that he's put the ball as close to Ty on the back wall as he could. That did make it quite difficult for the defender to block that. However, you need to be saving those. 72 PC, if they want to get the upset today, the likes of which we've already seen this tournament, they need to play at a higher level than they just did. They're still in a tie game though, but oh, will they be for long? No, they won't. Typical off the infield pass makes it 2-1.
And this is now Space Station back to where they wanted to be. Arsenal, that is a phenomenal recovery to set up Typical, who is ready and waiting. That is more of the Space Station gaming that we expect. Lightning precision on the pass. Here we go. 2-1 now.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one, to say the least.
It's just another really awkward looking ball rolling through off a kickoff, and Space Station would rather have those cease immediately. You know, despite grabbing the lead for themselves here, they don't look all that tidy, and they, I think, will have a much tougher match later on today, even should they get past 72 PC. But that's a good pass, and Jacob, you know, should be doing more with it. Ty will get the follow-up, however, and we have another equalizer, and it's a full-team aggressive play from 72 PC that makes it happen.
Yeah, Rettles really wanted to just take that as cleanly as he possibly could so he could start breaking away the rest of his team. Instead ends up losing the challenge to the left-hand side, and it is a great shot to tie us up. Well, there would have been a moment there after the first goal that everyone could have just shrugged it off and said, well, it is what it is. Maybe they were caught off guard. But suddenly a little bit more nerves will be creeping in for Space Station Gaming fans. Seabass does have Ty coming forward of him, who has to avoid being demoed, and decides to go return it as Ty hunts down Arsenal. Jacob will keep the shot out. That's great defensive play.
Yeah, that one just clipped Jacob's car and flew on the entire length of the field, giving a real breather for 72 PC. This is really the moment for me that Space Station have to try and solidify. We've had some awkward aerials, some awkward landings of the ball, some pretty weak-looking kickoffs. If they can just try to play consistently, what we're currently seeing from 72 PC, although solid, won't be enough to beat them. That was actually a block on Jacob's shot by his own teammate. They got in each other's way just slightly. They do still have some decent pressure on SSG, and that's a shot into the bottom corner. Are you joking? How has that one snuck past the defense?
Well, I was asking this a bunch of times yesterday because this was the one thing that was working for 72
Wow.
PC yesterday. The passing plays were going nowhere, but whenever they tried to outpace and just use the backboard to set up, it seemed to be working almost every single time. And now 72 PC, 1 goal up, minute and a half here left to play. And they look to try and take game number 1 here. So this can be Jacob already around. That was not the best touch from him. Has he caught himself out? Yes, he has. Stuck between 2 mid stream, long clearing, controlling it. And it goes nowhere. Arsenal happy to take over.
Yeah, nice shot from Arsenal. Spacestation need to take all the chances they get right now. Not having a great game, but okay, more importantly, can they hit the ball properly on kickoff? Yes, they can. However, it's a back-left strategy from their opponents. 72 PC take control. Good possession play from the center circle.
Ty didn't make good contact either. Arsenal, will he go for himself? He's also got a couple of options to the other side. He goes for it. Rattles his shot. Is blocked by Jacob. 72 PC need to be very, very cautious of where they are rotating out to. As Ty will clear yet again, but there's been a couple of times here where they've started rotating out and looking for the offensive play before they've actually cleared the ball, and can get them caught if Space Station Gaming are already waiting in the midfield. Souls can't find his second challenge. Typical with Arsenal up in support. Arsenal will now be forced to take over defensive duties. Drop down to Ty. Looks for the top corner. Arsenal will keep it out. The shot was slightly off target anyway. Definitely a much more exciting game 1 than I think many were expecting, ourselves included here, Johnny.
Yeah, there's definitely some fight in 72 PC, but oh, what a shot that is. Rettles to the top corner. Unfortunately for 72 PC, Seabass was beaten to the ball, actually couldn't get up to it in time himself. Rettles with perfect placement gets the lead late in the game.
And now with 19 seconds left, 72 PC need to find something. They already managed to put 3 past Space Station. They would have hoped that that would have been enough. So far, that has not been the case. Jacob off the wall. Will they get enough out of this situation? Ty couldn't run into the shot. He was already waiting. Couldn't run onto it properly. And now 72 PC have to get control of this ball back. Jacob will do so. Has to manage to recover in time. He cannot quite do that. Typical with the ball onto the floor. And Space Station Gaming, scrappy as it was, have got game 1.
Yeah, they've just about done enough there. Now, based on that game, I think we can safely say Space Station have yet to find their form. This is more of the same from what we saw yesterday, maybe even a bit worse, because the start that Space Station Gaming just had was pretty horrendous. The complete miss on a kickoff. We had multiple awkward touches and landings on the ball. They still got the job done, though, because 72 PC's defense was equally unimpressive. Now, if Space Station can just play at their very, like some kind of normal level for them, you know, 3rd gear, they're going to be just fine in this matchup. But looking farther into the tournament, they're going to need to step it up and you know, step it up significantly. For 72 PC, though, yeah, this is unfortunately why we all predicted them to lose. Space Station play a bad game, they still get the win.
Yeah, that really did seem like the perfect storm for 72 PC to try and grab themselves a win and get a good start to this series. Now it's up to them to try and figure out how to turn this around here in game number 2. Just set the scene a little bit as well as to how 72 PC are looking in the overall points tables. Obviously, points have been reset in regards to qualifying for the major, but the overall points totals have them coming in right now in 17th position and quite far back from those all-important top 6 spots, back by about 600 points right now. So dropping out here where there's only 40 points available for them is not going to be the start to this tournament that they would have wanted for this split. They know the task ahead of them right now, and it is beat one of the best teams in the region just to hold on to your spot in this tournament. Arsenal can't get the reset, or he is challenged. Typical's going to have his own go. Jacob is getting attacked by Arsenal. Will he be able to recover in time? No, he cannot. Typical, far too good.
Yeah, really great work off the ball as well by Arsenal. Jacob would have challenged Typical in time there had it not been for Arsenal driving up to him, forcing him to jump early. And because the recovery took so long, Typical had a long time on the ball there, all by himself, uncontested, and puts in the top shelf shot.
Something a little bit better there as well from Space Station. I think we'll never end up really questioning their mechanical ability, and we're going to have another one from Typical.
Okay.
All right, well, we wanted to see Space Station Gaming wake up. Typical seems pretty awake.
Yeah, Typical got such a fast recovery there as he side flips off the wall. It almost looked like his impact with the ball forced him down into the ground and made him recover even faster, and that enabled him to flick the ball a second time over the follow-up challenge, which maybe should have been a bit closer behind the first one. Either way, though, just brilliant play by Typical. Both goals, the first one had an element of Arsenal helping out, a large part, but that was all by himself.
And a bad situation has just got much worse here for 72PC. Typical has got Rettles in the midfield. Rettles choosing better, and especially off the demo, that was the correct decision. Good field awareness there from Rettles. He's going to be called into action downfield. Right now, 72PC just need to try and find what they can do here. As it's going to be off the backboard yet again. Much better rotation this time around from Space Station Game if they want to try and react to those backboard plays. But this is becoming the same issues we saw yesterday. Despite an improved start here for 72PC, there is a lot of blasting the ball with no real intent after the fact, and that's usually fine if it's a neutral game. You can work from that. But Space Station Game will be very happy to see that at the moment, as Arsenal almost gets the flick with the second half of his flip.
A nice little accidental flick there. Seabass with a fake challenge as second man. He really should just be charging that ball, because look at Rettles. He doesn't really care for fake challenges. He'll take his time. I hate to say it, but 72PC look like they're just fresh out of ranked 3v3, and they're running into one of the best teams in the world right now. There's very little in the way of passing plays, synergy of any kind, and unfortunately, Space Station are now playing solidly. They look great, especially compared to that first game. That was half a chance, but it was Typical just got in the way of that shot, which could have been dangerous.
And look at this. Space Station Gaming are dominating the air.
Okay.
Fantastic goal by Arsenal. That's their lead up to 3. And with the way this has been going, you just don't see a way back for 72PC.
That is some brilliant efficiency by Arsenal. I don't know how he managed to reach that ball as quickly as he did, using all the boost that he had to do so. Yeah, Space Station, they fixed all those Game 1 problems, the Game 1 jitters that they had. I think 72PC missed their chance there. That was the winnable game. That was the game to put Space Station on the back foot. And you know that with the class and the talent that Space Station Gaming have at their disposal, that they were going to have a game or maybe even 2 that they just run away with off the back of a solo play. Seabass gets 1 goal, however. Maybe there is hope yet, as the defense is Typical, unable to hold up there.
And 72PC again scoring in the exact same way. Attack the backboards and just get that one moment where you can try and get that golden scoring opportunity. So far, it has given them a couple of goals per game. Certainly not had many times where they've been completely scoreless. Jacob going to drop the ball down yet again. Ty unable to follow in the way he would like to. It's another attempt to just blast the ball long. Rettles ready and waiting for it this time around. Seabass looking to keep that pressure up. And it won't last for too much longer, but Jacob, good half rotation from him, actually. He managed to spot the chance to keep the offensive going. Now he can jump on in. Maybe get this down to 1 goal, but it's another good save. Shot directly at the keeper, but still had to be there.
Yeah, and a nice touch to the side from Typical. He didn't just save the shot, he knocked it very safely into the corner. Not so much now, though. Jacob off the crossbar. 72PC really in the hunt for his second goal.
Might just get it at this rate. Got to keep this offense going, though. They don't want to drop any sort of space over to Space Station. Good turn yet again from Ty. Not the best touch, though. Didn't give himself much to really follow with. And that double commit, well, the pinch will certainly help out. They're not going to complain about that too much. Drop down. 30 seconds now. And this might be the end of that offensive sprint. Especially off the miss from Seabass. They're trying to figure it all out. It was Jacob, actually. Seabass, though, still struggling to try and maintain possession of the ball. Ty can't find his flick. It's all falling apart here for 72PC. 20 seconds left. And that flurry really did need to result in a goal. Space Station Gaming, though, this is more we want to see from them. We had a lot of worries in game 1, but game 2, definitely more of what we expected from a team of this magnitude.
Yeah, this is why you can't just throw away a glorious opportunity like game 1. Well, it was such a great chance for 72PC to win this, or to get the good start in the series, I guess I should say. Spacestation Gaming, they've got Typical on their team, they've got Arsenal on their team, they've got Rettles on their team. You guys can read that yourselves, but you need to be reminded of it if you're going to play against them. Typical might just show up and score a couple of early goals and put you on the back foot. That's exactly what happened in this game. Next game, it could be Arsenal, or it could be Rettles. The class is definitely there for Spacestation, and it's been lacking for 72PC. And yeah, at this point, they just have to decide what kind of series this is going to be. Are they just going to keep playing the same way and hope that Spacestation Gaming, have a bad game? Or are they going to change it up? Are they going to try something different? I want to see more aggression from them. I would love to see some chaos from 72PC, because these are talented players. They look like they're holding back, and they're afraid of making mistakes. And you can't play with that kind of hesitation against Spacestation.
No, certainly not. The one thing I would like to point out that I did like as a change from 72PC, I mentioned earlier on about how we saw them go for passing plays yesterday and nobody was ever there for them. But second half of that game, we saw Jacob actually becoming a lot more of an option for the passes, as we do start off with Spacestation looking for the first goal of this game. So they got a couple of opportunities with balls falling over to him. Maybe it'll be something they can work on and work with here in game 3 and beyond. Ty again.
Oh, wow.
Let's have Jacob, who might try and put it back over to him. The bump does certainly not help out. But here we go. Short targets. Typical managed to save his second flip to get himself more distance to covered. There was another double commit. Arsenal, lovely touch across. He's even got it over to Typical. That is fantastic by Arsenal.
Yeah, just a deft touch to clear what could have been a dangerous position. Spacestation positioning awkwardly at times, but they've got the mechanical ability, they've got the finesse to get out of him without any issues. Still though, 72PC able to pressure, which isn't unusual. Spacestation, they're not a team who rely on just constantly backing up their opponents and stealing the boost away. They love to play a counter-attacking style every now and again, even against lower tier competition, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Waits for the game to come to them. It's been one of the more important things this season, especially when you are going to take on a lot of wildcard teams that might play to a standard different to what you're expecting. Arsenal might be able to follow this, actually. Good recovery. Tried to predict where Jacob was going to go. Unfortunate thing is that for the last 4 or so years, players have been trying to figure out where Jacob's going to go. Not many have had success with it. Us looking for the pass yet again. A little bit better here right now. Not just trying to blast the ball every single time. Maybe something available now. Rettles. Only as far as Jacob has got Ty in the midfield. His Typical will leave it for Arsenal. This game's the exact same thing from Space Station. They don't rush the ball out of their own side of the field. Happy to just soak up a bit of pressure for a little while. Wait for the chance to come to them. And they are out, but not for too long. Seabass over the top of one. Typical, though, realizes that Seabass is fully out of control of his car. Happy to just take it away.
That's acceptable defense there from Ty, playing Typical's air dribble into the corner. It is interesting watching Spacestation and how passive they can be in a matchup that should be, quite one-sided in most people's opinions, I'm sure, who are watching right now. Compare this to a BDS or an NRG. You don't get this kind of series from BDS or NRG, even a G2 in this kind of matchup. They love to attack. They just want to pressure constantly, and if that gets them scored on, they don't really mind. But Spacestation, they're trying to read their opponents constantly and react to what they're seeing, and look at this. Another perfect shot from Rettles off an infield pass. You don't save those.
Certainly not. Ty tried. He jumped, he hoped. And unfortunately, he was hopeless. 1-0. And Space Station Gaming really have not had to just go all out for it. But yeah, I do agree with you on the point that you made as well, especially teams that we have seen in this season especially. Oh my goodness, what a shot that was from Difficult. Even better by Seabass to keep it out and to keep 72PC's hopes alive. But for a lot of teams that we have seen towards the top level, you get that sort of first game and you see things start getting a hand like you did in game 2. You start to just expect, all right, game 3 should be just completely over. It should be 4 or 5 goals. Spacestation Gaming don't do that necessarily. They are happy just to completely reset between every single game. And it has worked for them thus far. Jacob going to take the ball down. Great challenge. It's only as far as Arsenal yet again, but Ty's not got too many options. He wants to try and find a challenge, and a favorable one at that from Arsenal. Not going to quite get it. Arsenal now his chance. Good challenge against Jacob. Got Rattles up in support. Should he need it? Of course he doesn't need it. Happy to take on everybody at the moment, and he's going to still keep going. Finally, might allow difficult to move in.
I don't know how Arsenal managed to reach that ball. He's looking very sneaky today in the Octane. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the playstyle we're seeing from SSG right now is entirely based off game 1. They did not look confident. They tried to play a bit of that fast and aggressive style that we do see from them sometimes, and they kept on, you know, mis-hitting the ball and getting out of position, and it just looked like an awkward game. They can't read a 72 PC, perhaps. I'm sure Rettles would have something to say about that on Twitter. You know, I think he's had lots of choice words recently. But, you know, when it comes to the top teams, SSG know how to read those guys. I'm sure we will see plenty great gameplay from them later on in the tournament. They haven't needed to really show us too much in the way of flair today, although we had some great goals and, you know, really good individual goals, some infield passes. It's just been just a routine win for SSG. Unless 72PC can pull out a miracle here, doesn't look likely.
Nope, just need to find the ball to the floor now. Ball is heading in the wrong direction for that, though. It's going to be up to Ty, who couldn't quite reach it. Space Station Gaming have got it in a sweep. They move through to lower round 2.
Yeah, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't the most insane series that I've ever seen, but it will do the job. It's good enough for a Space Station for now. However, you know, next round should be a lot tougher for them. You know, if they go up against XSET as expected, and I think they're going to need to bring more than what they've just shown us. I think they will. SSG are very good at reading top-level teams, and the XSET are a very respectable team, very talented roster. But we'll have to wait and see if that is, in fact, who makes it through to play against Space Station later on today.
And it was a question I did want to pose to you. And I feel like this sort of performance makes this question a bit harder, so my apologies on that. But if you are the coach of XSET and Seoul and you were expecting, okay, we're probably going to have to take on SSG in the next round, are you looking at this performance and rubbing your hands just going, okay, this is our day? Or are you thinking, oh, okay, they're sort of back? Where do you stand on that right now?
No, I think XSET especially will be quite happy with this bracket and how it looks. Space Station don't look unbeatable today, and Seoul should be a very easy series for XSET. Seoul have yet to win a game here, but best of luck to them. You know, they are the underdogs of this quadrant of the bracket, and we're going to find out how they can perform in the lower bracket today.
So SSG move on through, and as you've already heard, XSET and Seoul wait in the wings. When we come back from a quick break, we're going to find out which one it's going to be that take on SSG.